guys! Excuse me, welcome to Psalm 50. I wanted to let you know before I even started painting. I know usually I just start painting straight away and we're off to the races. But there's some things I needed to preempt this video with. I wanted to show you here that on Psalm 50, this was such a, I don't know, it just took up a lot of the space. And I don't know, I just, I was having a problem trying to figure out the picture, and I hit Pinterest, and this took up, sometimes like I don't have to rethink, whoever illustrated this kind of got a vision already. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to kind of go along with this. But I do have to say that the words that really hit my heart on Psalm 50 are highlighted here in orange, and it's verse 14, bring me your true and sincere thanks, and show your gratitude by keeping your promises to me, the Most High. Honor me by trusting in me in your day of trouble. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Cry aloud to me, and I will be there to rescue you. That is what I desire from you. So those were the words that just were a balm to my heart, that just were so soothing. But I was not getting an image in my head for them other than, flowers. And I feel like we've done that. So being that I'm always, trying to sort of grasp for more and go and do more, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to stick in this world, and I'll do it. But then on Facebook, I'd like to explore these words. So there's so many different layers to what we do here. It's so truly not just about the picture that we put in our Bible. Truly, it's about like the words and the pictures and the glory and the worship, and woo, it's just so exciting. So I wanted to share with you that we are going to be doing a giraffe this week, and this is sort of my my mind vomit, just that page, over trying to get the doodle down so that it's easily translatable. Let me come out a little bit so you can see. Oh, sorry. No, that's as far out as I can go. So just so that it's easy translatable and I can teach how to draw it easily. So this is sort of like my whole mind melt each week as I'm trying to figure out the doodles. But I do have to say on this week, I saw a really cute doodle on Pinterest that I just loved. And I want to give credit. I kind of found it's sort of the picture of the giraffe is going to be kind of hanging in upside down here. And I saw it a lot on Pinterest, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is just the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I tried to sort of go back to figure out who the original artist was and where it came from, just so I could give creds to the artist that did it first. The best I can do is Jenny Harkey. Here, let me show you. Here is Jenny Harkey, and she has a hashtag, Jen's Journaling Bible Journey 2016. Jenny Harkey, hashtag Jen's Journaling Bible Journey 2016. So Jenny Harkey, I don't know if you'll ever see this video, but I love the little picture of your giraffe just kind of looping around and kind of just peering upside down. I just thought it was, I don't know, just endearing, just an endearing illustration. So I took that thought, and then I just started playing with giraffe heads and just tried to figure out how to get it into easy steps that I could teach you guys how to do the drawing with. So check out the doodles. There's a doodle sheet that it's nowhere near as busy as this. It's nowhere near as busy as this, but it has step-by-steps how to get the giraffe's face out. And then I also have the weekly, that's the doodle, and then the weekly sketch is just the 2.5 by 7 margin one that you could copy and transfer into the margin of your Bible. If you use it, gosh, I would love it if you would hashtag praise heart for me, and so I can see it, and I don't know, it's so exciting to see your work and how it shows up just years later. It's just so exciting. So let me just, before I start on the painting, I just want to say that on the words here, I used a light and a dark. I went in first with my lighter orange, and then did my shading inside the letters with the darker, it's like I'm almost like a pumpkin. It's exactly pumpkin. So I used Prismacolor's vermilion red and then pumpkin. Then I went in and popped in with the white jelly roll to give it just a little, you know, the pop. And then I did my shading around the letters. So let me come in here so you can see. Whoop, wrong way, Lisa. It's like backing up. When I first started driving, Lord, if I could figure out how to back up and which way to turn the wheel. It's the same with me and a camera. You know, by the time I'm 50 to 100, I'll have it figured out. So you can see that I've got the shading. I've got the shading inside the letters, outside the letters, and then I've got the white highlight pop. So, okay, here we go again. Hold on. I know, I don't know. Okay, there. So with that said, I am going to start the drawing. All right, guys, we'll see you on the other side. Let's get started. You know, this was not such a hard thing to paint, honestly. It's intimidating to think we're going to paint a giraffe, but it really was not. If you just kind of do it in the layers, not so bad at all. I think maybe the most challenging is going to be in the drawing. So take your time. Take your time on the drawing. You know, so. I'm just going to say from the get-go, I was trying to get in like two little legs right down there. We're going to be switching upside down and backwards all the time on this one. But I do wind up just making it be just one leg going down. It was just too confusing, and it dragged the eye away from that little cutesy face. So just as we're going along, you'll see eventually I just swipe out the whole thing and I just make it sort of just be the chest of the giraffe. So I'm coming in first, and I've sort of got like a muddied yellow is the best that I could come up with. I looked at so many different colors of giraffes, and I don't know that they're necessarily orange, you know, but everything that I saw, I forgot to draw in ears. Don't forget, giraffes have ears. You should make sure you put those in there. But every picture I looked at of a giraffe, they really weren't like orange per se. They were more like this like muddied yellow brown kind of deal going on with dark brown spots. And then they've got those black, I don't even know, like tufts on those little horny things they've got. There's tufts there. There's tufts of black on the edges of their ears. And then their mane seem to be black. So that's a lot to get in. So know that you have to kind of do it with layers. You have to start with one layer and kind of work your way up as you're going in. I thought it would be best to just go ahead and lay in my blue background. So remember that blue and yellow aren't exactly opposite, but they're two colors that just go so well together. A very dynamic color combination. So I did want that background to be in a nice bright, I don't know, Africa sky blue, just a nice bright, clear, pristine blue. And I just thought it would be easier to drop in now rather than doing it later on. So and then I tried to just sort of leave a little bit of a darker pop close to the figure to just draw your eye always back into the giraffe and into, you know, around the figure. So there was a lot of water, and I did have to dry out. Very interesting up there on the top of that page. I must not have gotten my gesso on very well. Do you see how the top of that page there, it's just taking the paint in a darker way? So what happens is if I don't get my gesso on and I don't pay attention when I'm putting it on, it just goes through to the other side. And eventually I kind of turn the page to look and see right up there if I have bleed through, and I do, you know, on there. So I put my clear gesso on, and then I just looked, and yeah, there's a little bit of bleed through, but the other side was blue, so it's fine. But I put my clear gesso on with a makeup sponge, so I try not to get as many brush strokes on it. And it's just one of those, they're triangular makeup sponges. So they're real cheap. If you can pick them up at dollar stores, you can pick them up at Target and like big, humongous bags of them. I do like those, and they wash up. I use it and wash it. Lasted forever. So that stops getting all of those brush strokes that I bet you've been fighting with. one thing I was going to say, but you have to make sure that you actually get the gesso to the end of the pages, because you saw what happened there with mine. So here I came in and I thought it was a little bit of a darker brown, but I know what you're saying to yourself right now, Lisa, that is the same exact color you just put down. And you know what? I'm going to have to agree with you. It truly is. I don't know what was I thinking. But, oh, there. See, I caught a clue and I popped it up a little bit. So I have a question for you guys. Do you guys like that I speed them up and you kind of get the full version relatively quickly, or would you prefer I slow them down a little bit, or would you prefer actual time? And I will go with what consensus would like. If anybody answers, I will go with what the consensus is looking for, because I know I just like to watch a video real quick and get the idea and then get in and do it. But that's me, and I know that everybody has different preferences. So please drop me a line below and let me know, because then I can do what you guys want. I won't know unless you tell me. So here I did notice on the inside, I've never known so much about a giraffe before, but on the inside of a giraffe's ear, there's just a little bit of that dark fur again, like dark, the brownish kind. So the ears are going to get some pink in them, because I wanted the impression, I really don't know if giraffes have pink ears, but I wanted the impression that it was a young giraffe and the innocence of the vulnerability of the animal. So I will be putting pink in those ears to just kind of hint away at that. So yeah, I did finally get the darker spots in. It does take me a bit of a while to build up the spots in general. I just have to keep on coming back in and drying and reapplying. It just keeps coming. I just have to keep doing it. And then at the end, I will even pop in colored pencil to just get it to pop up a little bit more. See how it looks confusing to me that I'm trying to get two legs there. So I do eventually just make it into one leg. So drying again, because as I dry, I'm allowing another layer of more depth of color to be added onto the page. So this is the pink, and I really do want it to be like that precious kind of a pink. So I do have to dry it and then come back in again and get it to just step up to the pink that I'm looking for, because I need it to give an automatic impression of youth and vulnerability. So it does take me just a second to get that popped up in there. So Rocco just had to go to the bathroom. That's where I went to, but now I'm back. So working on that little mouth too, that there's a precious little tongue in there. So what happens when you add a color into your composition, always keep in mind that if you add one color once, that's going to draw the viewer's eye to that one spot and nowhere else. They would just absolutely get stuck there. So if you're going to add in a color, if you kind of think about it in terms of adding in a color 3 times, it will drag the viewer's eye around the composition. So what I have there is I have the 2 ears and then the mouth have the pink, so that your eyes are dragged to the face, which is where I want the focal point to be, and then your eye is bouncing from ear to ear to mouth to ear to ear to mouth. So you keep on going around in that way. So just something kind of a cool kind of thing, kind of an art trick there, to stick in your little toolbox of things that you can do and know, things to impress your friends with. Now that black that's coming down, the black is also going to be an eye dragger around the page. I think that's an official term, eye dragger, because the 2 little tufts, woo, Lisa, the 2 little tufts are going to have it, then the mane, and then that mane on the other side. So you will focus in on the eyes and all the black and pink, and then your eye is going to be dragged down the mane and popping in on the other side, and then you'll do it again. So through the use of color, you can drag the viewer's eye exactly where you need it to be and where you want the viewer to focus on. So I don't know, like, I truly do think that giraffes are just about the cutest animal on earth, and they have got the prettiest eyes and the prettiest eyelashes. So I really want to make sure that my eyes were just as sweet as could be. So I've got the eyelashes coming in, And then I will even add in some cute little bottom lashes with the colored pencil. Sometimes the challenge in when we have a book that has words in it is trying to figure out how to incorporate the words into your spread. Just respecting that the words are there, but working around them in the spread. I don't know. Sometimes it's just a little bit challenging. See, now you can see that leg is really starting to look a little bit wonky. I know. Don't look at it. Just look away. I think I'm on like layer 3 or 4 now on my spots. So, and I tried not to keep them real neat, like real solid and opaque all the way through. I just kind of tried to let them sort of show through different layers of transparency, because I think that's what a spot would be like. It would not be, completely solid. So drying out once again. Let's see, there I go. I just figured it out. So I do finally make that a little bit better. So we are, there I go. Okay. So I think that after this dry in, you can see that the muzzle of the giraffe still needs some work, and it still needs to be sort of popped up a little bit, because there's just no shading on the face yet. There's really no shading anywhere. I'm just trying to get those spots kind of popping a little bit. So there's no shading. So we're going to have to go back in and sort of start bringing out the dimension of that cute little face and all of the different parts of it. So here I go. So thinking about it, there would be that sort of that drop shadow in underneath the jaw, and then on those little horns that there would just be a little bit. And look at that cute little mouth that she's chewing. I don't know, is it she? I don't know. But I'm chewing on that little leaf there. So I think here what I'm doing is I've got a little bit of black, and I'm kind of popping in just outlines with just the black watercolor paint. And then I think I'm using a number 8 brush, but the beauty of like watercolor brushes is that if you keep it on a fine tip, you can get some really good detail work going in when you just push it straight up on itself and just use the end of the brush. You can get some nice detail work. So there, look at those cute little eyelashes. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And I know that they still need the pop of white. So I do that at the end with a Jelly Signo white jelly roll and colored pencil, just to make sure that it really does pop. So here I'm just putting in that dark shadow again, and that should draw the eye around the page, because I want it to read as a spread. I don't want it to read as like just looking at the face or just looking at the leg. I want it to read as a full spread. So again, I'm more on those spots there. So you can see that even that now still that muzzle, it just still needs some pop up, so we're still put on some depth and some shadows and continue working on getting it to just really pop. So that little leaf, I just wanted it to be bright, like, I don't know, just innocent. I guess those pinks and those bright greens are just sort of an innocent color. I will have to add some shadow in there where the mouth is clasping down on that little leaf or plant or whatever. There's going to be some shadow coming through on either side of it. So I'm going to come back in and get that. And here just add in some more shadow on the outside edges of the little giraffe. That's the white jelly roll, but I need it to be like white. I really want those eyes to have that glassy, how they're just so like sunny and moist and big and beautiful eyes. So I really want to make them pop. So I will come back in with a colored pencil and make sure that they do. So here I'm just adding in, I did go with a little bit of a darker green to sort of put in the shading on the plant. See, I'm not even giving it an ounce of thought, just making the leaves just be sort of fun. Unfortunately, I'm blind as a bat though, so I have to get up close to see that I'm the shadow in right. So I'm happier with the eyes now. I love that she's got little eyelashes there, and that they're white, they're big and bright and wide-eyed. So here I'm just adding in a little bit of black to make sure that the black is really, really black. Look how cute she is. Is she not the cutest little thing? So that muzzle, I just wanted to get it just popping, you know. So through colored pencils, I'm using a darker brown, a sandy color, and then white to get it to just pop, get my details, the fine lines where I need them to sort of hone up a little bit. See how that just in the shadows, the detail work is truly where your drawings or your paintings are going to come to life. It's always in the detail work. So I do not know what is about those little horns and the black. I do not know what that's about. God has got a sense of humor when he made a giraffe. Cute as can be, but woo, there's a lot going on that little creature. So here I'm just going to put in, I'm just popping up all of the, where I had shadows, I'm just popping up the shadows a little bit. And see how that it just pops it up and it makes it just be more vibrant. So I think that she's almost done. A little bit more of that green, because like I said, where it goes in, where the weed goes in the mouth and out the other side, there's just going to be a shadow right there that would be cast down on. Everybody's going to ask me what kind of pen this is, and I would love to be able to answer you. I will show you a picture of it at the end. It only has Asian writing on it. I don't know what language, I don't know anything, but I think I got them at Hobby Lobby. I think they came in a pack of 3. I know I probably used a 40% off coupon, but I haven't. You see, that's just an English language on that. I just don't have any earthly idea what that says. So it's that brand, whatever that is. If you go to Hobby Lobby and you go look at the calligraphy section where they sell Daniel Smith watercolors, that's where they are. You can find them there. No idea. I liked it. It worked well. I don't even know if they're waterproof though, so I can't really recommend anything about them other than it was close to me and I grabbed it rather than looking around for one of my other, I like the Kuretake, the Tombow Kuretake one, but I don't know, this one was close and I thought, well, why not? So always, I have my stitches, so those little stitches are going in around the whole thing. I will come back in off camera and color in the whole black, the margin from the little, I don't know, zip line, I don't know what those things are, but from the black, there's a black margin. You'll see it when the video's over, that I just did come around and color in the whole margin black. It just gave a focal point, and it sort of gave your eye a resting spot on the giraffe's face. So sometimes I think that if you don't have some sort of a border on your page, your eye just doesn't feel rested. It feels like it's longing to go off the page. Whereas if you put a border on it, your eye feels very comfortable just staying exactly on the spot that you want it to. So I really wanted the eye to stay on that little giraffe's face. So I felt like see, there it is. No idea. Don't know. That's the kind of brand it is, whatever that is. So I think that is it, guys. She is done. Let me know how this went for everybody. If you found it to be challenging, easy, or give me some feedback on what you guys want to do and what you want to see. And I will see you next week on Psalm 51. Thanks, guys. Bye.